Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. In this video I'll be showing you a Scarlet Witch build in Baldur's Gate 3 using the Telekinetic Spells mod made by Dawnstar, and we'll also be using the Red Witch class mod by SadikaShihar. There's also a mod for the Red Witch add-on which adds the Telekinetic Spells as they work perfectly together. So this was requested to cover this, so I'm going to be doing 2-in-1 here. However, if you don't have the Red Witch or if you don't want to download it, you can follow along using the wizard. For the cantrips, we'll be selecting the Telekinetic Shell here. Covers yourself in a sphere of telekinetic, getting resistance to physical and force damage. And when a melee attacker hits you, it explodes, dealing 1 to 12 force damage and knocks them back 6 meters. We also get the Telekinetic Hurl here, doing a 1d8 or 1d10 of bludgeoning damage. And if the object is heavier than the target, they take an additional 1d4 of bludgeoning. We also have Force Manipulation, which you can push or pull enemies 6 meters. And we can also take the Shillelagh or Booming Blade cantrips. For spells, we're going to go with the Stone Snap here, which is the level 1 spell from the Telekinetic Spells. This does a 2d6 force or 2d6 bludgeoning with a 1d4 force, rip boulders from the ground and hurl them to a single target, possibly maiming them, which reduces their movement speed. All of these have unique appearances too, by the way, which you'll see in the combat section. It's very cool. And we'll also take the Rock Barrage, doing a 3d6 bludgeoning, and it applies Dazed on Hit, which gives the target disadvantage on wisdom saves, so you can hit things like Hold Person and Command a lot easier. Now, for the ability scores, this is intelligence based. So we're going to go with 16 intelligence, 14 constitution, and 16 dexterity. You can swap dexterity with constitution if you prefer, so we'll roll with stat spread like that. Into level 2, this class gives us the Chaos Volley, doing a 48 and plus 12 force damage, and the Dark Ritual. Appeal to the Ancient Ones for power, restoring up to 4 dark favors. You'll need a corpse to be able to do that. So these use your dark favors instead of spells. And then you still have also your spells here. We may as well take Magic Missiles, really good, and also a force damage spell. Thunderwave is also kind of nice, or Create Water if you have a team based around lightning. And once we get to level 3, we get the Armor of Agatha, doing a 1d6 plus 3 force to attackers, and you receive a 1 or 2 increase to your overall armor class. This is a bonus action ability. We also get access to level 2 spells, so we'll take the Telekinetic Spells. Battering Ram, giving a 1d8 of bludgeoning plus 1d4 of force and knocks the target off balance. And we also have the Seismic Eruption, which does 2d4 of force damage plus a 3d4 of bludgeoning damage, pulling a pillar of earth from the ground, leaving behind a throwable boulder. So these are pretty cool, and you can prepare these spells too, so I think that's a nice little touch there. So we'll have all of them obviously prepared. Into level 3, we get the Hexbolt 2, doing a 2d4 of force damage and weakening them by other abilities, inflicting disadvantage on saves. And then we also have the Chaos Volley as well, increasing in its damage. We get access to some more spells. You get some of the Druid spells like Spike Growth and Silence. We're going to take Hold Person, Darkness, and Misty Step for some other good spells, or even the Mirror Image spell if you wanted to go with that. And for our feat, I would recommend taking up our Intelligence. At level 5, we get the Witch's Flight. You might not have your broom, but you can fly as you please, using a Dark Favor and a bonus action. Aphatic Phobic Eruption, doing a 3d6 4 plus 4 force damage. Something is invaded your personal space, expel them, and push them back 4 meters in explosive force. We also get access to level 3 spells this time around. So we'll take the Implosion Sphere, doing a 46 of force damage, launching a spear of compressed force that can seek out your targets and leave them prone. And we also have Scatter Shot, doing a 1d6 of force damage and 2d6 of piercing. Pull a boulder from the ground and form into stone spikes, and it hits targets in its path, inflicting gaping wounds on the targets. Into level 6, we get a Chaos Volley 4, increasing in its damage, and the Dark Ritual 2. We also get access to some more spells here. So Sleet Storm and Glyph of Warding can be nice too, or even Counter Spell. It's always nice to have Counter Spell there. And if you're a half elf, you can also just drop the Glyph of Warding on the ground and put everyone to sleep around you. We also get the Willful Step, propel yourself forwards in a tunnel of force, battering aside any foes in your way as a bonus action using a Dark Favor, and Hexbolts 3, and the highly requested sequel. We also get the Debris Storm, doing 1d4 force plus 3d4 bludgeoning. Surround yourself in a telekinetic storm that throws around rocks and boulders. Your enemies will take that damage, and their movement speed is halved, so it's kind of like a different version of Spirit Guardians. We also get the Force Field here, doing a 2d6 force damage to attackers that come at it, and anyone that's within this becomes resistant to physical and force damage. So you protect your team with this, and it releases that shockwave every round, and it pushes enemies out 3 meters as well. So it's a concentration. It's a pretty cool spell. Into level 8, we get the Chaos Volley 5, and we get access to some more spells here. So we may as well just go with like the Woodland Being, and Sleet Storm also works really well. And then we'll go with an ability score improvement to max our intelligence. Into level 9 here, we get the Reality Implosion. Open fissures to another reality that pulls everyone towards them, may cause anomalies using 2 dark favors. Heal to the Ancient Ones for power, restoring up to 8 Dark Favors. You'll need a corpse. And we get level access to level 5 spells. So we get Cocoon, so spend yourself or an ally into the air, becoming invulnerable to all damage. They take maximum amount of healing, and they can't move, act, or take action. So you basically take them out of the fight, you can restore their health, they can't get hurt. Then we also have the Telekinetic Tethers, giving a +3 to armor class and +3 to saving throws to your entire team as a concentration. At level 10, we get the Hexbolt 4 and the Chaos Volley 4. And then we also get access to level 5 spells again, so we can take the very powerful Destructive Wrath and Hold Monster. If you're playing with the Wizard, you can take whatever spells you prefer there. And level 11 gives us the final spells in this list, so we get the Focus Beam, doing an 8d6 force damage delayed. Bind a creature with the beams of your concentrated force. You're also locked in place as you focus on the target. It takes 4 to 48 force damage each turn, and the creature can make a strength saving throw on its turn to end its effect. Telekinetic Maelstrom here. You release your body as a storm of pure force. Your body is locked in the place as your mind tears apart reality. Those who fail to escape are slowly bound, crushed, and disintegrated. This sounds perfect for a Scarlet Witch style playthrough, so that works out perfectly. Make sure you do have all these spells equipped so that you're able to lash out at the enemy with your very powerful abilities. Again, if you're playing the Wizard, you're probably going to be a bit stronger than this because you'd have different passives here. And this does have really powerful spells like Planar Ally there as well, so that's obviously something that's nice about this class. Confusion being a good spell too. Create Undead can be somewhat useful in certain instances. But we'll make sure we have all the Telekinetic Spells equipped. And for the final feat, Alert for the +5 initiative is a very good choice. Now, as we get into things here, I'll show you the different gear that we want to be rolling with. So, for gear, we get the Hood of the Weave, giving us an increased spell save DC, Cloak Protection for the better armor class. Now, earlier in the game, the Haste Helmet to give yourself extra movement speed is also nice as well. For the robe, use your best available robe. I'm using the Robe of the Weave here. Since you only have, you don't have armor proficiencies, you go with what you got. If you have a better late clothing option, you could also go with that, but I found that just regular old clothing worked well. And also the Gloves of Dexterity, which will increase our overall armor class, and you can dump Dexterity. This is a good option early in the game, because there's not really any gloves that specifically pertain to this. You could also go with the Wondrous Gloves, which will give you an additional 1 armor class. I guess that's another option you could go with that you can get from early in the game. If you don't have a shield, you can use the Bracers of Defense. Yeah, there's slim pickings for gear that actually works well with force damage. We have the Evasive Shoes there. You can also use the Disintegrating Nightwalkers for the free Misty Step. I also have the Amulet of Greater Health just to give us some more survivability. The Ring of Mental Inhibition, so whenever a foe fails a saving throw against one of your spells or actions, they gain mental fatigue for 2 turns. And the Ring of Protection. I think that this ring actually works very well here. And we also have the Staff of Spell Power. You can also use the Mark of Heshker Staff if you wanted to. It's like an upgraded version of Staff of Spell Power, but it doesn't really matter. We're a spellcaster, so we want to have a bit of stuff to give us that Arcane Battery if we wanted to cast some of our more powerful spells. But I'll show off what this all looks like, because there's some interesting appearances with this mod. It's always got a custom different VFX there, so I'll show this off now in combat. So we got lots of different options when it comes to damage. We can use the like Hex Bolts here. These are bonus action abilities, which is nice. The Implosion Spear is pretty cool though, because you can pull groups of enemies together with this, so we can drop that there, and then it sucks everybody into there, which is pretty effective. So then we can get into a better position for some of our more powerful spells. So we got hit with a critical there, but what I want to show off is our more powerful ability with the Telekinetic Maelstrom here. So Unleash Your Will as a storm of pure force. So this is going to do a bunch of damage to the targets in there. I'll try to get a little closer to get that last target there. There we go. We got everybody included, so we can drop this down, and boom, it's going to do a big explosion. Yeah, and then you can see here, this is going to deal damage. We're locked in place while this is active, and then they get to go and use their turn. So we can just continually hang out here while it's going to deal damage to the enemies. So you can see there, that target got hit by the Telekinetic Maelstrom Disintegrate. Literally a reality erasure, so no more mutants here. And the enemy's AI will actually try and like shove themselves out of this. They recognize this as a huge threat, so they're constantly trying to, you can see there, this target got pushed out. He also has a mental fatigue from our ring. And they're trying to make their way out of here as much as possible, because it's literally ripping them apart as it continues to go. And one of the targets actually got disintegrated there, so that worked out perfectly on our turn. So yeah, anyone that's stuck in there is just going to end up getting destroyed. And there's a target that just got erased from reality. Another one that's getting hit with the damage. So continually keep taking the force damage there while they try to take you out of it. So I'd recommend, if you can, apply Blade Ward to yourself to keep yourself safe. You can see they're continually keep taking force damage. Some of them will move out of it, some of them stay in it. So you can use your other teammates to blast them using Eldritch Blast or other spells to keep them within this sphere of damage. And another target taking damage, they're just trying to heal it, but it's not going to work. I got hit with a command, so that actually took me out of it, which is probably a good idea because we were actually getting wrecked while I was out of combat. I don't use my other characters there. We also got this explosion attack, so if there's a bunch of creatures near us, we can use this to push them back. And yeah, there you go. It also dazes all of them too, which is sweet. So yeah, that's from the Dark Favorites from the Scarlet Witch mod. But let's do the scatter shot here, which we can use to hit multiple targets with a stone here. So I'm just going to line this up and use the scatter shot because it hits in a very large range. Boom, you shred through them with that. Break concentrations, pretty useful. We also got the hex bolts here, which basically what this is a bonus action ability that we can attack 4 times with. So we're going to blast this target with them. Boom. It's kind of like an Eldritch Blast type attack, so really useful. Now the battering ram ability is pretty unique because we can use this to hit in a very large area of effect. So if there's some targets that you want to push away, I'm not going to push Minsk away. You can see there, you can shove them really far with that. I love any type of mod that lets you do things like that. We can also go with some of our other spells like the focus beam here. This does require you to hold a concentration on it, but then you can go ahead and blast the enemy with that. So we'll use a bonus action hex bolt here to hopefully take out one of these targets, and then with the remainder, yeah, we'll take out this one here. We got advantage on our attacks, so that's going to give us a good critical hit chance. That did no real damage to them. That's okay. We'll use our focus beam here now to hit this target here, and we'll go with that. So, concentration beam. So again, you have to hold your concentration. It automatically ends your turn, but that is a really cool appearance. So yeah, we'll just let that charge up. I love the telekinetic spells and how they look because they all have a very unique appearance to them. The VFX are very well done, much like the water spells mod. So I may do a watermancer, hydromancer type build in the future. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments. But yeah, we're gonna blast away there. That did a bit of damage. It just ends your turn because you continually keep blasting them each turn. It's not the most powerful ability. I'd actually recommend not getting yourself into a concentration like this, but it's a death beam and it looks cool. And boom, the concentration break when we end up finish them off. So yeah, it's a pretty cool spell. We also have the seismic eruption here, which can do a huge boulder you pulled out of the ground, and it can also be upcast. So we can pull that there and boom, pull that boulder out of the ground. It ended up taking them out. Perfect. There's also the target over here that we got to finish off because they're going after Gale, holding the concentration on haste so I can show this off better. And then there's one last remaining target there. So you do have lots of different cool options for damage. My favorites being anything that's got a really big pushback. So yeah, if you're able to do a knockback on a target, that's cool too. But we also got like the stone snap there, ripping boulders from the ground. I'll show an upcast version of this because it's a cool looking spell. So we'll go with that there. Boulders come out and crush them. So yeah, that is a Scarlet Witch build using the Dawnstar spell mod in addition to the Red Witch class mod by SadikaShihar here. So this is really fun. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. And I actually cover both of these mods in my best mods of the week video. So if you want to see some new mods in Baldur's Gate 3, you can check out my playlist with all of those in it. So have yourself a great day, and we'll see you all in the next video.